Hi guys, very good evening and a very happy Independence Day, right? I hope you are celebrating from home or outside, not sure. But yeah, again, welcome. I welcome you guys to the studio today. And like last time, we were discussing on a topic failing forward, right? So from this book, John C. Maxwell, right? This is part two of the series, right? And in the previous video, if you have missed it, you can definitely go back and watch. So we have some interesting aspects to cover and continue this topic today. So before I do that, let me welcome my panelists for the day. Hi Saurabh, hi Bhaskar, hi Nazir. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, doing great, Karthik. Thanks.
Thank you for joining the studio. Can you give a quick intro about yourselves, please?
Hello, very good evening to you all, and a very happy Independence Day. My name is Saurabh Sharma, and I have around 12 years of corporate experience.
Thank you, Saurabh.
Hi, Karthik. Thanks for the invite. And good evening to all of you and happy Independence Day to all of you. My name is Bhaskar and I am from Bangalore.
Thank you, Bhaskar.
Thanks, Karthik. Good evening, all, and a very happy Independence to you all. So, I am Nasir from Bangalore. I have around 12 years of experience into IT industry.
Thank you so much, Nazir. Yeah, as you know, I am Karthik. I also work in the software industry in Bangalore. Been in here for more than a decade in this industry. And yeah, like together, you see, we have more than 40 to 50 years of rich experience, whom you're going to listen today, right? So I'm sure it will have some valuable nuggets, right? Continuing to, I want to thank all you guys in advance for coming here because this is a Sunday evening and taking some time apart from your family personal life and adding some value to all of us. I really thank you guys for coming to the studio. Yeah, going ahead with this our talk, right? So last time we discussed about what is the difference between people who achieve and people who remain mediocre, and we also redefined rather we redefined how failure is. I mean, either failure is a full stop for you or are you failing, right? It's a continuous process. Okay, it is hope for success if you keep failing, right? So we covered some aspects on this. So today, before I go ahead, I want to share a small story, right? There was this guy, okay, and he was walking, and on the way he saw one potato, right? It looked fresh and neat and he liked it, so he put that potato into his pocket, right? And again he started walking further, right? He saw two more potatoes, right? He liked them also, so he put them those two potatoes in his pocket. So again, when he started walking further, he saw few more potatoes, right? So now he doesn't have any pocket to hold those potatoes, so he thought he will take a bag, and he put the potatoes in his bag. Again he started walking further, right? He started finding more and more potatoes, so he started dumping his bag with more and more potatoes on the way, right? Or after some time, that bag became very heavy, right? And he was not able to walk fast, right? His speed decreased. Okay, and he was telling, if somebody asked him, why are you walking slow, he was telling, no, I have a lot of potatoes, my baggage is very heavy, so I'm walking slowly, right? So why I told you this story, you can relate on the way. When we started our journey, all of you guys, I am definitely agree, our mind, right? There were no potatoes, right? It was free and we were fast. Over a period of time, we would have taken so many of potatoes, right? Like mistakes, failures, experience, whatever you call it. Okay, it filled our mind and it slowed down our process, right? So definitely, if you compare, the fast became a little slow, maybe, right? If you're still maintaining the same speed, well and good. Okay, so I whether this potatoes is a problem or this man is a problem. Okay, so now Saurabh wants to share how you can handle these potatoes. Okay, how you can handle these past mistakes and experience, right? I want to listen to you, Saurabh.
Thank you, Karthik. Thank you for the opportunity. Again, a very good evening to you all. I have a question for you all. Is the past holding your life a hostage, like the person who was carrying the baggage of potatoes or the mistakes? I would like to begin with a quote by James Long. One reason God created time was so that there would be a place to bury the failures of the past. And in our life, We all must have encountered a failure that was so devastating that we would have thought that nothing bad can happen to us except this failure. And if we don't overcome that, we are held hostage by our past. Because that incident that led to the failure was so strong and was so heavy on us that we don't get overcome with that failure. And sometimes these failure impact in such a way that we live our life with those negative experiences. No matter how dark a person's past is, it need not to color his present permanently. How many mistakes you have made, you don't have to cloud the judgment of those mistakes on yourself. And our past failures, they impact us in two ways. They either break us down or they give us a breakthrough. When it comes to a breakdown, there are 5 stages or 5 steps that lead us to breakdown. Number one is comparison. People who fail, they stay behind because they doubt their potential, as some past mistake has creeped on their mind and they are held hostage by that. Point number two is rationalization. They gave themselves a belief that there is no good reason they can get over the difficulties, that they can get over the past difficulties because of the bad experiences they had in the past. And same situation they are facing in current life. So excuses, no matter how strong, they will never lead to achievement. Third point is isolation. Some people withdraw because in the past they have hurt so badly that they naturally isolate themselves somewhere, and in the process of doing so they make their life more miserable. Fourth point is regret. It is a very significant hindrance in our life. If we are living the present in regret and we decide to tread onto the regret trip, in that we hold on to all the things, all the past experiences that had made that failure happen. And if we would stick to that regret, we will never get out of that failure. So only we have the power to get ourselves out of that regret trip or the failure because of regret. And fifth point is bitterness. In our life, when we don't get beyond the problem or the pain of the past, we become bitter. It is because it is an inevitable consequence of not processing our old injuries or tragedies. The past hurt, they can make us bitter or better. Choice is ours. And when it comes to breakthrough, it is an alternative of breakdown. So every major difficulty that we will face in our life, it is a fog on the road, and we have to choose which path we have to head down. It will lead us to breakdown or breakthrough. And for breakthrough, we have to have persistence in our life. It is our best teacher. And if we are hurt badly, we have to start acknowledging the pain and grieving loss that we have experienced. To end, I would like to say that to move forward today, we must learn to say goodbye to yesterday's hurts, tragedies, and baggages. We cannot build a monument to the past problems and at the same time fail forward. Thank you, Karthik. That is what I would like to share. Over to you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Wonderful sharing, Saurabh. And those 5 points were really valuable. I will definitely go back and watch this to understand those 5 points again. They have a very deep meaning, right? So, yeah, now we understood. Saurabh helped us to understand how to handle these potatoes. Okay. So, what about the person who is carrying the potato? When somebody asked why you are going slowly, he was telling, "Don't you see my luggage? I'm carrying so much of luggage. I can't walk fast, right?" So let us know. Bhaskar wants to handle the person's thought process who is carrying these potatoes now, right? Why can't he go fast? Why can't he change, right? So over to you, Bhaskar.
Okay. Thank you, Karthik. And yeah, so to begin with, I will read one statement for you. Sometimes great achievement can come only as a result of a period of failure that helps you understand who really you are. Okay, so in this context, I would like to share one story. Uh, this back in 18th century, Ottoman, the person name is John James Ottoman. Okay, so this person, he was a son of a French sea captain. Okay, he born in French, and then during the school years, he was the most indisciplined student in the class. Okay, so then at the age of 14, his father decided, okay, to get discipline. He joined his son in the army school. Okay, so then there also he continued with the same attitude. And his main, mostly instead of studying, he used to do birds hunting and then drawing the birds. So this was the activities he used to do instead of studying. So then at the age of 18, his father decided, okay, this place, at least changing a place will give improvement to him. So then he sent to United States. There he has a own house, his father. So then he started living there. This place was a kind of village place near to forest. So there he came in contact with one of the neighbors' family, Bakewell's family, and so getting into to touch with that family was a big change in his life. So he also fell in love with one of the family's daughter, Lucy. Okay, so then he started a venture with those people. So they were doing an import business, and he started doing the same business, and he was doing some job for them. And but still he continued the wild hunt and drawing his. So whatever he wanted to do, he was continuing, and he was not performing in the work what was assigned. So then after some time, his father decided, okay, to move to a different location, to a different business. So there they started a retail business, retail shop, along with his father's connections. So there also it's not a big success; it's only a small success. So then in that business also he used to continue the same whatever he was liking. So mainly his friend, the partner, was sitting in the shop. He used to go roam across the countryside, and then so only one main activity what he was doing was getting the goods to the shop from the other places. He chose that activity because he will get a chance to roam around the country and do bird hunting and drawing his whatever he liked. So then after some time, this also they made losses. So then so he was making there also losses. So then again they changed business to a different business. By the time he also got married to that Lucy. Okay. So then in other business also he made losses, and he has to sell his wife's property share, the family share. Okay, so then they continued, and even then they continued to make more failures, more losses. So then again he sold his share in the business and then came out, and finally these people, this person, wife and two kids, they don't have any business. So then the only thing came to rescue was his hunting skill, so that he will get food on the table for them, and his drawing skill, so that he can do some paintings and sell and get some money. Okay, so this is a life turning change actually. So then after some time he realized, okay, so he's getting some money in the drawing. So then he decided he will go across the country, United States, and get all types of birds and make an album drawings and then sell it. So then he went across the country and then got different kinds of birds. The drawings and the drawings looks very natural, like the bird and how and what place it lives. So around the environment also is to draw and make some 200 sheets of different drawings. And then he went to England and sold for a very good price, and people also very well received. And then at that time itself, he could sell for $1,000. Now it is worth $5 million. Okay, so here the message was he failed for so many years. By the time he realized his strength, that is the hunting and mainly the drawing, it was already 35 years. So it took almost 35 years to realize what was his strength and then perform better. So here message is, if you do what you do really well, you will excel. That is one message I understood from this. And one more point is, so we need to admit our flaws. Okay, unless you admit what is your weakness and then identify your strength area and build on the strength area, you will not succeed. Here also his strength area was the drawing. So far so many years he failed because he was going on the sideline, not on the main line. The sidelines was his father told, okay, you do this business, you study this. So it is not his passion, but somebody told, and because he thinks, okay, he has to do this, he was doing. But his passion was different. So if you identify your passion and then follow, then you will succeed well. So this is what I want to share.
Wow. Thank you so much, Bhaskar. Like, I mean, yeah, you were telling like it took 35 years for him to realize what was his passion and strength, right? And yeah, I mean, not going into guilt mode, but so many of us were able to resonate, right? Because we also study well, get into a job, because that's what we have been told, but we really don't know what is our passion. I mean, not everyone, but some of us, right? What is our passion? What is our strength area? And you share, like you have so much of experience in semiconductor industry, and at this point of time, sharing that line to admit our flaws and weakness, it's not easy to share that experience, right? So I like it's really I mean your humbleness, you have shared it. Thank you so much. And definitely even our PM founder Vijay, right? That's how we are all like connected because of your interested in self growth, right? And Vijay keeps sharing in PM sessions, right? So wherever you want to go, you have to understand where you are standing now, right? It's similar to the GPS. Okay, if you want to go to some destination, you always give a starting point, right? Otherwise the GPS won't work, right? So understanding where we are, what is our strength, what is our weakness, and so many things about ourselves, right? The self-awareness, that is the first point we need to understand. And when I did the CIR career impact report from Vijay recommended, it is like a kundli. I was able to see my kundli in that report. That is part of John Maxwell's team, right? So it was very helpful for me to understand where I stand. I was in the self-help industry, the self-growth industry for so many years because I'm very passionate in this area. But at the end, I was not going anywhere, right? After I did this report, I understood my primary forte is, I mean, relationship skills, right? That is my strength area. So I got one clarity, okay, where to focus on, where to go. So that was really great, Bhaskar. Thank you again for sharing. So now we understood about the potatoes, about the man who was carrying potatoes, and we were talking about more of about me, myself, kind of, right? So Nazir wants to contradict now. You are talking only about I, me, myself. No, you have to talk about what you can add. I mean, give to others also, right? So let us see that argument very nicely, which Nazir is going to explain. Over to you, Nazir.
Yeah, thank you, Karthik. So get over yourself, everyone else has. So I'd like to start with a quote by Barbara Ward. Don't get stuck inside your own ego because it will become a prison in no time. So this book mentions about a movie, Mr. Holland's Opus, written by Duncan. He was a screenwriter. So he has written a story which is related to from his own real life experiences of his music teacher. So a passionate musician, a story about a passionate musician who had to accept a day job as he has to take care of his family and carry his responsibilities. So he joins a high school music teacher to support his family, which leaves him little time for his own compositions and dreams. So the pivotal point of the movie comes when Mr. Holland's teaching position is eliminated because of cutbacks and he had reached middle age. So he missed the chance to pull up and take his symphony to New York and try his luck in Hollywood. So he has written these symphonies over a spare of last 20 years in his free time. So he was feeling rejected, thought he has wasted his life. So he was preparing to walk out of the school for the last time. That's when he hears something in the auditorium. When he checks to see what it is, he discovers dozens and dozens of students whose lives he changed during all his years of teaching. So that makes him cheerful, and he understands he has not wasted his life, and he has contributed to so many students' lives, and few of them become so successful. One of them was like even state governor and all. And further, there are stories about David Robinson, an NBA champion of 1990s. So he had all the records for in the last 10 years, but still their team was not a champion. So in 1990, he gave up like importance. He understood the importance of getting over himself, and he started supporting the other team members, and he was able to pass the ball. So that is how they finally become champion of two. So it's a very interesting story. I am just talking in brief. So, and there is one more story about selfless Susanna, a middle class housewife, how his contributions made his family successful. So kids' life mainly. So these are interesting stories which you can look forward to reading from this book. Then how can you turn your focus from yourself and start adding values to others? So put others in your thinking in order to add value to others. So if you are able to think about others before you, then you will be able to add value to them. Finding out what others need, listen to people, ask them what matters to them, observe them. If you can discover how people spend their time and money, you will you will know what they value. So this will add value to them. Meeting the needs of others will excellence with excellence and generosity. So concrete action. Once you know what matters to people, do your best to meet their needs with excellence and generosity. Offer your best with no thoughts towards what you might, and don't thought no thoughts towards what you might receive in return. So when you're helping someone, don't think what is your benefit, and examine your attitude by asking following questions to yourself daily at the beginning or at the end of each day. Whom am I pouring my life into? Whom am I helping who cannot help me in return? Whom I whom am I lifting who can't help himself? Whom am I encouraging daily? So the key takeaways from this chapter are: stop taking yourself too seriously and start putting the team first. Start adding value to others continually. and influence the influencers. And finally, I would like to end with the summary of failing forward. Realize there is one major difference between average people and achieving people. Learn a new definition of failure. Remove the you from failure. Take action and reduce your fear. Change your response to failure by accepting responsibility. Don't let the failure from outside get the inside you. Say goodbye to yesterday. Change yourself and your world changes. Get over the yourself and start giving yourself. So, like example, when we think of only ourselves and if we are working in a team environment, so the team performance might suffer. But if we want to achieve greater success, we must work as a team. So I will conclude with this. Thank you. Thank you, Karthik.
Wonderful, wonderful, Nazir. Thank you so much. And yeah, that was very beautiful. When you work in a team, okay, you have to think about others also because the team has to win, okay, more than yourself. And it takes some amount of wisdom to understand this line. And yeah, like I was able, I mean, initially when I started, I was like, oh, I have to help my team members. That's how I started long back. But yeah, that doesn't work for a long time, right? So I am definitely able to relate this with what Vijay has done because when he started the PIM with that money, I mean, if I had that money, I would have easily invested on a land or a home to get some passive income. But rather, he thought, okay, he has to add value to others. Okay, that's a very noble cause, and that's so. I'm sure, like all of us, we are associated with PM for more than 6 months to 1 year, right? And if I ask Nazir, Saurabh, Bhaskar, anyone, without any doubt, they can definitely share how much their lives were positively impacted, right? In be it professional or personal life. Right. Thank you so much again for sharing, Nazir. So yeah, like today is Independence Day, and we talk about freedom. But we actually, if so many of us busy, the word busy has become our surname, right? So we have to be free of so many things, and definitely this mistakes or failure is one such thing. So I want to share this quote before we end, right? What I read in the book. Not realizing what you want is a problem of knowledge, right? Not pursuing what you want is a problem of motivation, right? And not achieving what you want is a problem of persistence, right? So very beautifully, I mean, those lines were very beautiful. Yeah, so this is what we wanted to share, and we'll definitely take part 3 next time, continuing to this. So before ending, you guys want to share anything?
Yeah, Karthik. So I like team efforts are more will get you more success than an individual person's efforts.
Absolutely. Anything you want to share, Saurabh or Bhaskar?
I would like to say that don't let your past mistakes or past failures put a burden on you. Find a breakthrough through your failures, not a breakdown.
Definitely. Anything you want to add, Bhaskar?
No.
Thank you so much again. Thanks you guys for listening. If you have any doubts, any comments, or any feedback, you can definitely comment or reach out to any of us. Yeah, we'll see you again next week. Keep smiling and keep feeling forward, right? Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you all.